Hello, Falcons fans. Today we have some hot news that you can't miss. So get ready because there's a lot of important information coming. Before we start, we'd like to take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and stay up to date with all the news about our Atlanta Falcons. Don't forget to leave a like, which really strengthens our community. Now, without further ado, let's get straight to today's news. Top NFL free agency targets for the Falcons as the 2025 offseason begins. The Atlanta Falcons are far from the worst team in the NFL, but they are in a state of uncertainty after missing the 2024-25 playoffs. After a disappointing end to the 2024 season, the Falcons have a lot of work to do next offseason, starting with the 2025 NFL free agency window, which opens in March. By handing the offense over to Michael Penix Jr., the Falcons have plenty of pieces to work with on both sides of the ball. Bijan Robinson and Drake London flank Penix offensively and build a formidable 1-2 punch. Defensively, A.J. Terrell, Grady Jarrett, and Jesse Bates III give Raheem Morris building blocks to work with moving forward. Either way, neither the Falcons' offense nor defense have been perfect in 2024. The team has faltered down the stretch, going 2-6 in its last 8 games to all but surrender the division to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Change is in store for Atlanta across the board, with the Penix era set to take full shape in 2025. However, as aggressive as they want to be, the Falcons don't have much cap space. They'll likely let high-priced veterans Matthew Judon and Justin Simmons walk, but they'll still be on the books for Kirk Cousins' massive contract through 2027. Atlanta is in a better spot than most other rebuilding teams, but its glaring weaknesses have put it in a disadvantageous position heading into the offseason. Terry Fontenot has a lot of work to do with little room to maneuver. OLB Joshua Uche should be a priority for the Falcons in free agency. Joshua Uche had a strange year in 2024. In his 5th year in the league, the edge rusher was traded from the New England Patriots to the Kansas City Chiefs, only to be buried on the depth chart. His inconsistent campaign makes him one of the more intriguing free agents available this summer. Despite the regression on paper, Uche is just 2 years removed from an 11.5 sack season in 2022. But with just 5 total sacks over the past 2 seasons, perhaps that was a fluke. However, any player would struggle under the strange conditions he faced in 2024. With Judon expected to leave, the Falcons have a serious need at edge rusher. Arnold Ebiketie, who led the team with 6 sacks in 2024, will return, but Lorenzo Carter's contract is also expiring. Carter may re-sign, but he should be a backup option rather than a priority. The silver lining for the Falcons is that Uche's rollercoaster journey in 2023 and 2024 makes him one of the best low-end options in free agency. There's a good chance he could fall through, but the upside is too big to ignore. Unless Uche commands more than he's currently worth, he needs to be a priority for Fontenot in March. Even if it's not Uche, Atlanta needs to acquire an edge rusher. Khalil Mack, Joe Tyron Shoyinka, and Dennis Gardeck could also be intriguing targets. Uche seems to have more value as a low-risk, high-reward talent who's still just 26 years old. Tommy Tremble would complement Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is still under contract through 2025, but it's hard to see any way Fontenot and Morris are confident in him at this point in his career. The quarterback's poor play has been the narrative of his career, but even with Cousins and Penix throwing to him, Pitts had fewer receiving yards in 2024 than he did in 2023. The Falcons won't want to spend a lot on another tight end, but they should certainly consider investing in a quality veteran. Their budget isn't deep enough to make a headline-grabbing acquisition at the position, but it's enough to bring in someone who should at least push Pitts. Tommy Tremble is a perfect fit for their needs. His rookie contract with the Carolina Panthers expires in 2024, and the team appears ready to move on from Jatavian Sanders. Tremble hasn't done enough to warrant much more than a minimum contract, but he's been a starter for essentially his entire career. There shouldn't be much competition to sign him, making this ideally an easy choice for Fontenot. With just 782 career receiving yards, Tremble isn't the deep threat that Pitts is. However, he provides strength and mobility as a blocker that Pitts never had and is capable enough as a receiver in the middle of the field. If the Falcons are ready to move on from Pitts, they could do worse than Tremble. That probably won't happen, but few four-year starters come as cheaply priced as Tremble. OC Zach Robinson could reunite with Tutu Atwell. London and Darnell Mooney, the Falcons' top two receivers in 2024, will return in 2025, allowing Penix to continue working with his top targets. The concern will be Rondale Moore's impending free agency. Moore was brought in to start alongside London and Mooney but missed the entire season with a knee injury. Behind London and Mooney, no other receiver on the roster has done enough for Atlanta to feel confident in retaining. The goal this offseason should be to build around Penix, who thrived as a downfield passer in college. Acquiring a deep threat should be on Zach Robinson's offseason wish list. Prior to accepting the Falcons' position, Robinson was the passing game coordinator for the Los Angeles Rams. There, he worked with Tutu Atwell, who continued to improve each year. Atwell now hits free agency, where he could potentially reunite with Robinson in Atlanta. Atwell's teammate DeMarcus Robinson will also be a free agent. Both are viable options for Robinson as the Rams' two deep threats to complement Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Atwell has simply been the more consistent target. Regardless, both should command a similar asking price in the offseason. Falcons expected to pursue veteran safety Von Bell in the offseason. With Simmons likely to leave in the offseason, the Falcons will need to find a complementary safety to line up alongside Bates in 2025. It's not a position Fontenot wants to shell out big money to fill, but he clearly values signing proven veterans. Cincinnati Bengals safety Von Bell fits that mold. Bell, 30, made just over $1 million in 2024, making him one of the more affordable options on the market. He still appeared in all 17 games this year, but he was bumped up on the depth chart by second-year guard Jordan Battle. With the abundance of young talent Cincinnati has in its secondary, it's unlikely Bell will re-sign. Even if Simmons re-signs, Bell would be a valuable depth piece for Morris defense. The Falcons used Richie Grant in that role in 2024, who is also expected to hit free agency.